We will move undetected through these caves. Once we reach the northern beaches, we can begin to rebuild our army.
That sounds like a good idea, Huang, but I have a better idea. Let's cut to an explanation of how I discovered this exploit. However, if you wish to skip this, there are timestamps that tell you when and what is happening. Hello and welcome to this tutorial, where I'm going to show you how to access the campaigns, and maybe also the historical battles. I don't know if this works for that because I haven't tried it yet, in the scenario editor. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to actually go into the scenario editor, and do load scenario, and don't save the scenario, it's just an empty map. So, I already have the mission that I'm going to show you here today open in here. But in order to actually get this into here, because there's not going to be anything in here when you first try doing this, so you have to, on Steam, I don't know how you do this for other ways that you acquire this game. Well, I suppose you would just have to go into the main files itself, but on Steam, if you right-click the game, do Properties, browse local files, then browse local files, then that'll get you to the same directory that is on screen now, and you find the file, so the file that you're looking for. So I want the China Campaign 5, so I'm looking for this CC5 here, and that's how I know that this is the correct file that I want. Yeah, there's also the India campaigns, the Japanese campaigns. They all have like this sort of same naming scheme that the China campaign has. I haven't looked at the other campaigns because I haven't really needed to look at those to try to figure out how to beat them, because they're quite a bit easier than the Asian Dynasty campaigns, which could be a bit of a pain. So then once you find the file that you want, so in my case, Age3YCC5, you're going to copy the file, then open the saved games here, and paste it into there. And then all you have to do is cancel, go back into load scenario, and then it'll be in here. So once this is loaded up, you'll see all the stuff that you're not supposed to see, which is fun. So here's the mission. Now, while I was trying to figure out how to cheese this mission to find the exploit, I had an original idea. The idea was that as you're building your base, the enemy eventually sends an attack from you through the caves, and that attack comes from these barracks here. I know they're called war academies, but I'm just going to call them barracks because that's easier to say. So yeah, they send an attack at you from these barracks here, so I originally thought, why not to try to destroy these barracks? But there comes a problem with that. These don't stop spawning enemies until you get a town center. And once you get a town center, then you have to deal with the enemies over here attacking you. And you kind of need like a lot of your army for that, so there's not really any time to come and destroy these barracks. So that got me thinking, what does the AI actually do before you get a town center? The short answer? Nothing. The AI does absolutely nothing, with some exceptions, like some of these villagers will come up here and grab these food bits here. Or is it gold? Maybe gold, actually. Yeah, okay, it's actually gold. Oh well, it's fine. Yeah, no, the only thing the AI does is automatic stuff. So these villagers are going to automatically go to these resources, and the units that spawn, or not spawn, that are trained, they actually spawn there, from these barracks, will like walk down this path to like intercept you and force you to fight them or hide in the caves. So for this strategy that I developed, you only really need two things. All this is just speed it up. You could probably do without this, but you need this healer here. He will just allow you to not have to wait around as long, and you need this soldier here who will just help you kill stuff faster. And until you get to the end of the cave here, the mission plays out exactly as normal. So I'm going to cut over to the gameplay again and go on over to the voiceover, and enjoy the rest of the video.
We will move undetected through these caves. Once we reach the northern beaches, we can begin to rebuild our army.
I said it from the beginning. That traitorous admiral gives sailors a bad name.
So as I just said in the explanation part of this video, The mission starts out exactly the same as it does. You don't do anything special until you get to the end of the caves. So I'll check back up on you after we get to that point.
是的，出发。好的，
出发。准备着手。好的。
请下出。好的。
Captain, it is you.
遵命。
We worried you had forgotten about us.
是的。
是的，出发。
准备着出发。开山，西甲，攻击。
请下蹲出。好的。
是的。请上面开山。是的。好的。
准备出。好的。
准备着手。
Greetings, Captain.
出发。
It is good to see you again.
是的。准备就遵命，请下好遵命。
是的。好的。 请下命令。出发。好的，好的。
是的，出发。
是的，出发。好的，命。好的，好的。出发。
Many thanks, Captain.
出发。
We could not have survived long without
出
you.
发。准备着手。下命令。命。西甲，准备着手。好的。准备好的。
请下命令，遵命。是的，
We are at your command,
准
Captain.
备就绪，出发。准备，准备，攻击。开山。请下出命。
现下命令，出发。
准备着是的，好的。
准备就绪。
准备着手。准备。
请下命令。是的，
是的。出发。攻击。
准备就绪。开战。
好的。
出发。
是的，好的。
好的。
请下命令。
是的，准备就绪。遵命。
请下命令。请下命令。
Jinhai uses the native village as his own. Keep moving across the valley. We are too few to fight.
开山。是的。命。出发。好的。
请下命令。好的。
We should be safe in the shadows, but only if we keep moving.
准备着准备。出发。请下命令。好的。
是的，是的。
准备着手。
准备。是的。攻击。好的，出发。
请下命令。准备。好的。出发。
请下命令，准备就绪。好的。请下命令，遵出发。
好的。是的。
是的，好遵命。好的，遵好的。请下命令。是的。准备就绪。 的，遵出发。
是的，好的，出发，好的，出发，遵命，好的，遵命，
准备好的，
准备就绪，出发，遵命，好的，遵命，出发，攻击，
是的，
请下命令，是的，遵命，开上，
准备就绪，
请下命令。
进出发，开战，好，
准备就绪，好的，攻击，
遵命，好的，好的，攻击，遵出发，好遵命，是的，好的，攻击，请下命令，出发，开战，是的，好的，攻击，
请是的，准备下命令，遵命，好的，出
请
发，
下遵命，
准备就绪，好的，遵命，
好的，
开上，请下命令，是的，攻击，
是的，
请下命令，
请下命令，好的，
是请下命令，是开上，请下好的，出发，准备就好的，
是遵命，准备
Up
出
ahead.
发，
出发，
Sunlight,
请下
we've
好遵命
reached。the cave's end at last.
All right, thanks for the observation, Chen. So, at this point, I would recommend that you save pretty much as often as possible. I'd save at a few key points here every so often, pretty much like whenever I reach a sort of checkpoint of sorts that I think is a good stopping point. So, the first checkpoint coming up pretty soon is this native village here. So, this native village is sort of my way to say, don't go any further, there's enemy armies there. So then immediately go northwest. Do not go too close to your town center, because then it'll become yours, and then you're basically playing the mission as you normally would. And don't go too far west, because then you'll be meeting enemy armies and castles. So you just gotta tread this like fine little middle ground here. And it doesn't matter if you go too close to the villagers, that won't give you the town center. So afterwards, you're going to want to go due west to the edge of the map. And I'm just making another save here because, just in case, I don't want to take any chances. And once we get down there, I'll meet you there.
Too far. Other. Too for me. Too far. Other. To me. Too far. To me. To me. Too other. To me. Too far. Other. To me. Too far. To me. Other. To me. Too far. Other. Too other. To me. Too far. Other. Too far. To me. Other. Too far. Should other. Too far. To me. Too far. Other. To me. Other. To me. Too other.
Okay, so now that we're here, I like to only fight with my heroes, just because it's safer than risking any of my units dying. So, as you can see, the enemy villagers are doing nothing. So just kill them. They're just gonna shoot at your men, and it's better that they're dead than shooting at your people. Now, you would think that the enemy would send armies after you now. They don't. The armies will only attack you if they can actually see your army, or see your building getting attacked. But most of them, you can just ignore them. So, at this point, I'm just going to shut up and let you continue viewing. And yeah, I'm just healing up my heroes while the rest of the army destroys the town center.
Too far. Other. Too far. To me.
So from here on out in the mission, it's going to be a lot of fighting, and you're mostly going to be waiting for Huang's grenade to recharge. And this area that we're at right now with the temple here has very jank AI for some reason. Like, you'll see me like clicking a lot to just try to like force my units to move through, and they just don't move sometimes. So now that Huang's grenade is ready, you're going to want to throw this grenade at the artillery units. And then after that point, your heroes can just mop up the rest. So, yeah, this mission in the cheese, with the cheese, is just a lot of waiting around, pretty much. Just waiting for Huang's grenade to recharge. Which, it wasn't too important against that army, but for the next 2 armies that you fight, actually probably the next 3 armies even, you're going to want to just wait till Huang's grenade recharges, so I'm going to cut that out for you because it's just a lot of waiting. Alright, so for this next army group, you want to specifically target the Iron Troops with Huang's grenade. Because they are monsters. They're mercenary units, which means they're just straight up better than other units. And at this point, I like to start bringing in my Chukonu, just because it's extra damage, and they should be safe while the heroes tank the damage. And for some reason, the enemy started running away. I guess they wanted to go back to their default position because I went a bit too far from it. Oh no, very strange. And yeah, you can see here just the pathing issues that this area has for some reason. I don't understand why.
准备就好，出好蹲，好的，开战，攻击，出发，好的，请下命令，请下命令，出好的遵命，
是的。
准好蹲出发，好出发，好蹲出发，蹲出遵遵命出发，请下蹲好蹲出遵出好遵命。
准备结束。指命。请下命。
Alright, so the next army that we're going to be coming up against has even more iron troops. Again, same thing. Kill as many as you can with Huang's grenade, and try to use Chen's ability just to clear out as many enemies as possible. So we can actually see the enemy villagers there. As you can see, like I said in the explanation part, they move to collect the resources that were there, but they don't do anything else. So after the enemy is dead, you could probably just immediately move on to the villagers because they're not going to be very strong. There's no need to wait for Huang's grenade to recharge on villagers. But there's one more army we need to fight before we could destroy this town center. Because they will notice the town center, and you don't want to be caught with your pants down because you're attacking the town center before Huang's grenade is ready.
攻击，准备就绪。
见下命令。
准备结束。
是的，开战。是的。遵命，请出发。遵好的，遵好的，遵出发。好，遵出发，遵命。
是指命。好的，指命。好的，指命。指命。指命。指命。
是的。
准备出发。好的。指命。
是的，好的。
是的。好的。
准遵好的。
Alright, so the final enemy army is down here. And here we even see the traitorous admiral himself. Just use your heroes to kill as many enemy units as possible. And at this point, bring in your army, because the admiral is extremely tanky, and your heroes alone probably can't deal with him. And I'm not entirely sure what I was doing there. I guess maybe I was looking for a few units, but I'm not sure. So yeah, as you can see, like even with my entire army wailing on him, the admiral just won't die, but eventually he will. And the traitorous admiral is finally dead. Screw that guy. And yeah, the rest of the army will be easy to clean up because they're probably targeting Chen. And at this point, you've beaten the mission. All you have to do now is destroy the town center and send a single unit to go claim your town center. Because for some reason, even if you destroy both of the enemy town centers, which is the main objective of the mission, you don't win until you actually get your town, but enjoy the rest of the video and the destroying of the enemy town center. And you gotta love the weird jank AI in this area for some reason.
好的，出发。请下命令，遵命。出好的，准备就绪，遵命。准备出好的，出发。
You think you have defeated me, but you are mistaken. This is only the beginning of my reign. In the next life, perhaps, but not in this.
Hey, welcome to the end of the video. So this is extremely different from the usual content that I make, so if you liked it, go ahead and subscribe, leave a video a like. This video took a long ass time to make because I was learning as I was doing it, so this was quite fun to do actually. And it was interesting just learning how to actually cheese the mission as well. Because this mission, it's extremely hard to do normally because it feels like the enemy just has infinite resources and infinite men. But yeah, this is fun to make, and I'll probably do more of this. But I don't know how often it's actually going to happen because this video took a while to make, and I still have to render the video and upload the video. But if you want to watch the gameplay without any of the voiceover or any of the other editing shenanigans, there's a link to an unlisted video in the description that you can watch. And I think that's it. I'll see you next time.